We tend to think of time as a steady, invisible river, a constant forward flow that we simply float through hour by hour. But a 2023 psychology experiment conducted at Cornell University suggests that this steady river is an illusion. Researchers connected subjects to an electrocardiogram and played brief audio tones triggered directly by their heartbeats. When the interval between heartbeats was shorter, the tone was perceived as lasting much longer. Conversely, when the interval was longer, the sound shrank. The researchers called these distortions temporal wrinkles. They prove that our perception of the present moment actively warps, stretches, and shrinks with every single pump of blood. Time is not a rigid external container we passively inhabit. Our internal biology is actively generating our moment-to-moment experience of reality. If a single heartbeat can warp a second, the overarching processing rate of an entire nervous system dictates how much reality an organism can inhabit. Consider the housefly. To us, its wing movements are a frantic, erratic blur. Because its signal travels through far fewer cells, its sensory cycles complete much faster than ours. It experiences a full, stretched-out life in just 28 days. This model demonstrates the electrochemical battery driving that clock speed. Every time we inhale, we pull charged atmospheric ions, specifically oxygen, into our bloodstream, which then regulates the specific electrical firing rate of our brain and nervous system. Human beings are literally tethered to the electrical state of the atmosphere, operating at a specific processing frame rate that shapes our reality. Our biological lag forces the high-speed cycles of the quantum universe to blur together into what we perceive as solid matter. This schematic represents an atom not as a solid sphere, but as a structure of almost entirely empty space. It only holds a definable shape due to tensegrity, the architectural principle where stability is created by the dynamic tension between the positive charge of the nucleus pulling inward and the negative charge of the electrons pushing outward. Because our biological observation speed is slow, trillions of these incredibly fast quantum cycles blur together in our vision. We see a standing wave, a stable, solid mass born entirely from our inability to perceive the high-speed motion. It is the exact same optical effect as a metal top spinning so rapidly that it appears completely motionless and solid to the naked eye. Physical mass is a perceptual illusion caused by a slow biological observer looking at a high-speed system of tension. Zooming out from the microscopic vibration of atoms to the absolute macro level of the cosmos, we run into a major roadblock in theoretical physics, known as the problem of time. Quantum mechanics requires a flowing, absolute timeline for its equations to work, but Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity treats time as a malleable dimension that bends and warps around gravity. Look at the Wheeler-DeWitt equation, a mathematical formula attempting to unify these two opposing models. When quantum states and gravity combine, the energy operator becomes a constraint, and the time variable mathematically cancels out to zero. This creates the frozen formalism problem. The math proves the cosmic wave function is constant, perfectly static, and does not evolve. If you were to step outside the universe and look at the whole equation from afar, absolutely nothing is happening. Time does not exist. If the physics dictate that the universe is a frozen block, why do we experience a flowing reality? In the 1980s, physicists Don Page and William Wooters proposed that time is strictly an entanglement phenomenon, meaning it only emerges when two quantum systems interact and share information. A timeline only exists for an internal observer. Because a system, like a human being, is inside the universe and entangled with other quantum states, we experience the illusion of evolution, even while the overall cosmic system remains timeless. The philosopher Terence McKenna described this exact phenomenon as the felt presence of immediate experience. It is the unique contribution of the animal body, the mind and metabolism interacting with the flow of a reality that is, mathematically, already finished. We are not solid objects moving through empty space. We are localized biological machines, using our specific clock speeds and beating hearts to decode a frozen universe into the beautiful, flowing illusion of the present moment.